Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, you don't need me to tell you that it's cold outside. You can feel that. It is just dramatically colder here. The core of the coldest air located across the prairie right now into parts of the northern plains, breaking the color chart where you see that white shading. And as you look at the 6 to 10 day forecast, we start to wane. We start getting back into the colored part of the chart here. But what doesn't show here is actually a nice warm up as we head into the end of the week, into the weekend. We'll talk about that here in a moment. There's opportunities for some snow across the prairie as well. A couple corridors of heavier snow possible across northern portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan, and then another one here focused across central and southern portions of Manitoba into southern Saskatchewan. Opportunities for everyone to pick up some snow here, but those will be the two corridors I'm concerned more about, more significant snowfall here over the next 5 to 7 days. Now, as we look at the satellite picture across the region, we do have one storm system making its way across the prairie right now, bringing some snow to portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan. Looks like this snow will move into the Saskatoon area and the Regina area by the mid part of the day into the afternoon. Some light snow flurries across portions of southern Alberta as well. So just about everyone here, the chance for some hit or miss snow showers as we head through the rest of the day today. We'll look at the high-resolution Canadian model here, the precipitation forecast. Again, watching this snow starting off across southern and western portions of the prairie, and again, slowly making its way off to the north and to the east. Again, just about everyone with the opportunity to pick up some light snow as we head through the day today, into the overnight, and then into the day on Tuesday. This would be Tuesday at 6 p.m., seeing this band of snow now arcing from southern and central Manitoba through northern portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan, with another round of light snow beginning to emerge off to the south. Total snow expected just through Tuesday. So this is looking at the total snow forecast here for the day Monday and Tuesday. Again, heavier snow possible off to the north. That's where we could see anywhere from 5 to 15 centimeters of snow over the next 48 hours across northern portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan. And then a streak here where much of the prairie could see anywhere from, a trace to upwards of 10 centimeters of snow. Probably generally going to be in that 2 to 5 centimeter range here across much of the prairie over the next 48 hours. But again, chances for some additional snow as we head through the rest of the week. What does that look like? Well, we'll watch quickly here. The light shading of blue making its way across the prairie here Monday into Tuesday. That is that first storm system. We then see another wave emerge here as we get into Friday. That's the next chance for more significant snow. That's sort of tied to a trough that gets forced off to the south from the Gulf of Alaska across the western U.S. into the central and northern U.S. But on the north side, some opportunities for some snow as well across the Canadian prairie. What else is going to be happening? Well, here's the big ridge the trough, that's kept a lot of cold air focused on this area, with the warmth being found off to the east across portions of the Midwest and the northeastern U.S. and then portions of eastern Canada. Well, what happens then as we head through the next week? We start to see this trough retrograde back off to the west, with the trough building in across the prairie. There's a very different look now as we get into the end of the weekend and beyond that, seeing that trough taking over across Canada. Let's jump back. This is the look right now as we get started. Trough west, ridge east. Should change this over to a red there. Now as we head through the next 7 days, this pattern flips. Now you've got the opposite here. Now we've got a ridge west with a trough to the east. We're going to start pulling that colder air down across parts of the Great Lakes, across parts of the eastern U.S., while we start to build some warmer conditions across parts of the Canadian prairie. So this is good news. You've just got to stomach the next 3 or 4 days of very cold temperatures before we do bring in some relief across the prairie. You can see that here. We'll look at our 5-day averaged temperature anomalies, and again, you see that begin to fade. The very dark, purple colors here with that extreme cold across the prairie starting to fade as we head through the next 7 days. Your total snow forecast over the next 5 days, so taking it through Friday, looking at Monday through Friday with our forecast models here. And again, those corridors of heavier snow that I pointed out earlier across the north and then across eastern portions of the prairie. So if you're in the prairie, just about everyone with the opportunity for at least 2 or 3 centimeters of snow, but as you get into central and southern Manitoba, into southern Saskatchewan, close to the U.S. border here, that's where we could be talking about 5 to 15 centimeters of snow. And then across southern Alberta, so we talk about this region here, south of Highway 16, a pretty good agreement here for anywhere from 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. Again, a complex map here. Just about everyone's got the opportunity to pick up a couple of centimeters of snow, but then a couple corridors with higher precipitation chances here from southern Saskatchewan into central and southern Manitoba, and then across areas north of the Prairie in Saskatchewan in Alberta. Looking at your temperatures here, again, good news as we head into the late part of the week. The bad news is, well, you got a whole lot of cold to get through before we get to that. High temperatures around negative 25 to negative 30 in Edmonton all the way through the end of the week into the weekend before we start to climb up toward the end of the week into early next week. Same thing here in Calgary. You've got another 4 or 5 days of very cold temperatures, lows around negative 30, highs around negative 25. The light at the end of the tunnel arrives here as we get into the January 18th through 21st time frame. Same thing in Saskatoon, very cold through the end of the week, a light at the end of the tunnel as we end the week, getting into early next week. Regina, similar picture, highs around negative 20 to negative 25 for the next week. And then as we look at Winnipeg, the warm up a little bit more stubborn off to the east. Again, remember, we're forcing the cold air off to the east. So again, warmer as you head back to the west as we get into the next 7 to 10 days. And then as you get off toward the east, where we're going to start filtering in some of that cold, maybe a little bit more of a roller coaster ride, maybe leaning a bit colder as we see here in Winnipeg. As always, Eric Snodgrass has an in-depth look at the next 1 to 2 weeks. That's in our Ag Forecast video you can find on the Nutrien Ag Solutions portal there. And then I will be back to talk about the Canadian Prairie next on Wednesday morning. Have a great day and a wonderful start to your week.